Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam and today we have a very special update for the BMW E84 X1. Now, I know I've been posting a lot of E84 content and you folks seem to be very receptive of it. I'm super excited to, of course, showcase some new plans and new beginnings for the BMW E84 X1. I honestly have been enjoying it. I've been enjoying the process that it takes, and also I've been enjoying all the feedback from you folks as well. So today we have a very special announcement for the BMW E84. I want to definitely take some time to showcase some of the parts that I'm going to add on and upgrade onto this BMW E84. Now, just a little bit of backstory about this BMW E84 X1. I first got this BMW X1 back around COVID era where used cars were at an all-time high, and the purpose for this car was just a daily commuter. I needed another car to get in and out of the door to the GO train station so that I can get to work while my wife takes our EV vehicle to a much further destination. So at the time I had my eyes on the X1 due to the fact that I grew up driving my parents' Mercedes GLA 250, and I really liked the sport utility vehicle aspect of it. It was a hatchback, it was nimble, and definitely it was still at the same time spacious and sporty and fun. So I wanted to find that feeling back in the BMW platform, and I came across the X1. I fell in love with it, and it was just a car that I had my eyes on back then. Of course, with today's car market, the prices seem to have plummeted a little bit. Now you can buy these X1s for relatively super cheap. Maybe you can even pick up an M-Packet X-Drive 35i for around 6 to 7K more or less, if you're lucky. I seen one on Facebook Marketplace for around 4K, but it had a little bit of a knocking in the engine. So if you're a DIYer and if you are really talented in the mechanical aspect of these BMWs, a project like that could be a good weekend job for you, and you'll have a very nice X1. Now, the X1, it still serves me well to this day. I haven't been driving it as much as I wanted due to the fact that the work that I'm in, it's mostly remote and it's something that I don't really need to drive that often. So it's been kind of just parked on the side, and it has just been utilized as a weekend adventurous car. Of course, my kid really likes the X1. He finds it super cool compared to my BMW E46, and he really likes seeing my bike on top of the roof rack. So with that being said, I definitely want to showcase what I have in store today. I am super thankful for this opportunity. A viewer reached out to me when he saw my BMW E84 X1 video and offered his parts to me. He is currently in the midst of exiting the X1 platform and entering another era of cars. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what I have. Here it is. Let's go. This is the new up and coming setup. Now, I definitely wasn't planning on splurging so much on the BMW X1 due to the fact that I didn't see that this platform had the available parts. It's a very niche platform, and not a lot of folks tend to modify the BMW E84. Only the real hard BMW enthusiasts would spend money on the BMW X1. Once again, it's a super nimble car. I believe Doug DeMuro did a review on the M-Package 335. Oh no, sorry, not 335, on a 35i X1, and it definitely kind of blew up and kind of sparked new interest in this platform once again. So of course, starting off here on the left, what we have here are the Brembo BBKs from the F80 M3. Now, upon first glance, of course, these are a used set and they are not perfect, and they are definitely not in showroom condition, but it definitely still serves its purpose and definitely works wonders on the car. Here we have the two-piece floating rotors. Also have the bigger F80 M3 blue calipers. This, I believe, is 370 and 380 sizing, so that means you can hold a bigger brake disc. And of course, we have the rear BBKs as well. This is a BBK where it's finished in Monte Carlo blue. I definitely want to, in the long run, get this repainted and refinished in the same blue. And of course, I'm definitely going to refresh the decal as well. All in all, it came with EBC brake pads. There's still some life to it, not a lot. I'm definitely going to use what's left of it just so that I can get a taste of how this setup will look like. Of course, I have the BBKs for the E46, so I am definitely super excited to get this on and super excited to see how it looks like on the BMW E84. With that being said, of course, these stock rims, these 17-inch wheels are not going to fit or not going to clear the BBKs, so I will be swapping in the 18-inch SSR Type C RS onto here. And later on in the long run, I am definitely going to source myself a set of M-style 225 rims just to see how it runs and looks like. Super excited to get that on and super excited to find that in the long run. But in the meantime, this came with stainless steel brake lines, and of course, if you want to retrofit this, you have to get a very special adapter on the back. You see how this is offset a little bit? This is so that it clamps onto the existing brake knuckle. Correct me if I'm wrong with my terminology, but this is what you need to retrofit this onto the BMW E84 X1. So I'm super excited to get that on. I'm definitely going to need some help on retrofitting this due to the fact that if you want to breathe the brakes properly, you're gonna have to have a second helping hand to pump the brakes for you. Of course, moving on to the right, we have the BC coilovers. I believe this is the BR series. But what's special about this BC coilover setup is it came with Swift springs. Yes, so the Swift springs are actually an upgrade to this coilover kit, and it definitely gives you a better spring rate. Now, I don't know how the feel of having Swift springs are just yet. I'm going to definitely retrofit this and definitely have this installed and give you an honest feedback. I do have the ST coilovers by KW on the E46, so that is definitely something that I could use as a baseline for when comparing the two. Of course, with the BC coilovers on the top, you have the ability to change the camber of the car or of the setup, and on top you can adjust how soft and how hard you want the shock to be. This already came with end links, which is great. The end links, I would say, is still usable for a couple of seasons, and then I'm gonna have to swap it out. It does seem like it still has a bit of life left, so I'm gonna maximize that potential. Of course, as the video shows, the BC coilovers, they do have a bit of surface rust on them due to the fact that the owner did daily the X1, and it was a daily commuter for him too. And here in Toronto, we have horrible winters. We have so much snow, and it's definitely something that we cannot avoid. But he also gave me a set of coilover covers for the coilovers and the shocks itself, so that you can cover up the threads so that the salt won't damage any of the surface. So I'm definitely going to have that on when we have a snowstorm once again in the later season. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy it just as is, and I'm just going to see how they ride. So that was a sneak peek of what's to come when it comes to the BMW E84 X1. Now, all in all, that was not really kind of planned on my end. It just kind of presented itself, and I wanted to seize the opportunity. I definitely purchased all these components for a good price, in my opinion. If you're buying all this new, and if you're sourcing all the specialized brackets for the retrofit of the BBKs, it's gonna cost or retail well over, I'm gonna say off the top of my head, from based on my field research, it's gonna cost over 4K USD more or less. I definitely am not that familiar when it comes to the E84 community and the market itself, but I have been a lurker on the forums, and that's what it has been telling me. But all in all, like I said, I'm going to grab some help and I'm going to get all this retrofitted. I'm probably gonna ask my uncle to come on over due to the fact that I know some parts in here are a little bit, not seized, but there's a lot of surface rust where it can get very stubborn and it could potentially need of a torching, let's just say that. I remember back then, a couple years back, or I think maybe 2 years ago, I swapped out the rear shocks due to the fact that I knew that it was knocking and I knew that I needed a refresh. And when we were going in there, the suspension surface rust level was just through the roof. It's definitely a little bit off-putting, and it's definitely such a shame that coming from the previous owner, he did tell me that this was quote-unquote garage kept and parked on the ground, yada yada yada, but the components, the parts, it just doesn't reflect what he says. So when you're buying a used car, here's another pointer. Just be aware and be cautious when buying an decade-old car, especially when it comes to BMWs, because these BMWs, yeah, they're cheap, but it costs a lot when you're trying to maintain it, and it costs a lot when you're trying to refresh such components. Of course, coming up to the front side of things, the previous owner or the enthusiast that did reach out to me, he did graciously bless me with a set of new lower control arms as well. I'm going to try my best to have that installed on my driveway. I do have a lower ball joint that has gone bad, and I definitely need some help removing that. I've been lurking on YouTube trying to figure out how to best remove it with the tools that I have, and it's looking a little bit brim, but I feel like I could definitely find my way to knock it out. Let's just say that. Again, my main concern is it's seized and it's going to be an arm and a leg when you remove that, or when you attempt to take that out. Knock on wood, won't cost an arm or a leg, but you get what I mean. If I can't get it out, I definitely will send this off to an indie shop such as RMP to have the lower control arms installed and removed of the old one, and installing the lower ball joints for the fronts. And while I'm in there, I might as well just get the tie rods installed too, just so that I have a super refreshed front end. And on top of that, not to mention a possible alignment, because when you deal with suspension, you may throw off the alignment just a tad bit. So that's always a good idea to refresh as well. But there we have it, guys. This was the biggest BMW E84 X1 update to date. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about today's update and what you think about these up and coming modifications that I have planned. Is it stupid? Am I spending too much money on this? Or if it's a good move. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my socials and my channel. It really helps me in the long run. But until then, see you next time.